my children. I'm happy to welcome you to this video session of Term 2. I'm your biology teacher. I'm going to present you the video session of Unit 19, Movements in Animals. Movements will take place into our body like walking, running, jumping. While blinking our eyes also the movements will take place. Did you know children? While breathing also movements will take place. So let's move on to this video session.
Hello children. Now we are going to see the movements in animal. In this lesson we are going to see about the movement in animals as well as locomotion, types of movements, to know about the human body and its movements, the components of the skeleton, to understand the muscle movements and its types. There are so many movements are there in our body while we are facing into our day-to-day life. While we are taking our body from one place to another place also, we can view that movement will take place. Different parts of our body move while you remain at the same place also. While you turning your necks and rotating your arms and standing or sitting, whatever the position you do, this is a type of movement. This movement, I am going to say you some example. First, the cow uses legs to walk, while snakes uses a whole body or a crawl. Like fishes use its fins to swim. The human uses legs to walk. So walking, crawling, flying and swimming, these are only few ways in which animals move one place to the another place. So what is movement and locomotion? Both will be having the same sound but slight variation in this meanings, okay? So what is meant by the definition of movement? It's a change of place or position by one or more parts of our body. So movements always helps to perform the necessary function such as pumping the blood to the different parts of the body. So which will pumps our blood? Heart will pumps our blood to the different parts of the body. So movements are classified into two. One is voluntary movement, another one is involuntary movements. Voluntary, with our presence or knowledge, whatever we are doing is called as a voluntary movements like walking, running, jumping, eating. So with our knowledge and we are willing to do that, okay? So that is called as a voluntary movement. Involuntary movement like breathing. So without our knowledge we will breathe while we sleep or while we walk, while we dance, while we watching TV or we writing your exams, whatever may be, the breathing process will be takes place. That is called as a involuntary movement. So movement of organism is moves from one place to another place, that is called as a locomotion. How the locomotion will take place, whether it is in any organism searching for the food or otherwise it will avoid the harsh climatic changes or escape from the predators. So like that the animal or birds or any organism will move from one place to another place is called as a locomotion. While the locomotion process will take place, what will happen? The actions such as limbs, wings, flagella and silica also takes place. While we see in an aquatic animal like fishes, okay. So in aquatic animals, fish, not only the fish, whales, shark and locomotion results serious wave-like muscle contraction. Okay, these are the locomotion and movement. So after I said about what is meant by locomotion and movement, you can able to write the difference between the locomotion as well as movement. Locomotion, I already told you, it is a movement of organism from one place to another place. The movement is an act of changing the place or position by one or more parts of our body. So locomotion is always voluntary. We itself want to think and we have to move from one place to another. While movement is entirely not a voluntary or neither a involuntary. It can act in a both process. Locomotion takes place in the organism at a level and movement will takes place in a biological level. Locomotion does not necessarily any energy, but movements always require some energy. The movements in different animals we are going to discuss. What are the different animals? Earthworm, cockroach, birds, snake, fish. So movement is an important significant features in our life, isn't it? So it is a basic mechanism which is used in the majority of the vertebrates, even it is included a human being also. So animals exhibits a wide range of movements. So we are going to discuss about the different animal like earthworm, cockroach, birds, snake as well as fish. So first I am going to discuss about the earthworm. It's a body of the earthworm is made of many rings. While you are seeing the picture also you can able to see that so many ring like structure at the end you will have, joint end to end it will have. It has muscles which helps to extend and shorten the body. It can be elaborate its body or shorten the body. Under its body, it has a large number of bristles called setae, which is connected with the muscle. These bristles help to get grip on the ground. During the movement, the earthworm first extends the first part of the body. So you can able to see how it is moving. Keeping the rear position fixed to the ground, then fixes the front end and releases the rear end. Then shorten the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes the earthworms to move from one place to another place with a small distance only it can move. While repeating this muscle contraction and relaxation, the earth can also move through the soil also. A slimy substance is secreted by its body helps this movement to move from one place to the another place. The next one, cockroach. Usually we all see this cockroach in our home, isn't it? Which have the 3 pairs of legs, which helps to walk, run, sometimes it will climb. It also have the 2 pairs for flying. A large and short muscles help the movements of leg. The body is covered by the chitin, a light protective material. So while you hit the cockroach also, it won't get to a dangerous position. Suddenly it will move and run. Did you watch that? Yes. Chitin is a shed regularly so that body can grow. The next one is birds. All like birds, isn't it? So how it is moving? How it is flying? Otherwise it is also walk into our ground, isn't it? So bird have a streamlined body. Its bones are light as well as very strong. They are hollow and have a hair space between them. The hind limbs of the birds are modified as claws, which helps them to walk and to perch. The breast bones are modified to hold the massive flight muscles which helps in moving wings up and down. So birds have a special flight muscle, so over limbs are modified to swing into the sky. The wings and the tails have a long feathers which helps for flying. You have 2 types in flying method. One is gliding, another one is flapping. Gliding is a bird which has the wings and the tail to spread out. While you seeing the picture also you can able to understand. This movement of bird uses air current for going up and down. And flapping, it is active flight. The bird beats the air by flapping its wing. They use the flight features for this purpose. The next one is snake. The body of the snake consists of large numbers of vertebrates. The adjoining vertebrate, ribs, skin are interconnected with the slender body muscles. How it is moves? It makes many loops on the sides, isn't it? While you seeing the picture also, how it is moving, how in the ground you can able to see. The forward pushes the loops against the surface, makes the snake to move forward. The movement of the snake is always called as a slithering movement. So many snakes can also swim in the water. You could have seen into many places, many snakes will be there in the water also. Since snakes do not have legs, they use their muscles and their scales to move from one place to the another place. And next we are going to see about the fishes. While you are seeing itself, it's so beautiful, isn't it? How it is moving into the water. Let me discuss now, children. The fish swims with the help of fins. It will swims with the help of fins. They have two pairs of fins and unpaired fin. The body of the fish is a streamline to reduce the friction while moving into the water, which have a strong muscle that is help to into the swimming process. When a fish swims in the front part curves to one side and the tail part stays in the opposite direction. While you see the fish here, see the picture, children, while the front part will be opposite to the tail part, isn't it? So next to move, the front part curves to the opposite side and the tail part changes into the another side. So it will be opposites only. The front part will be in one position and the tail part will be in the opposite position. Okay. The tail fin helps, which is in a changing the direction. So already I told you fish have a streamlined body, isn't it? So it is helps to smoothing into the flow of water. The muscles and the fins on the body of the tail, which helps to the float into the water or moves into the water, which keeps the balance of the fish. We already discussed about the movement in animal. Now we are going to discuss about the movements in human body. Humans can move some parts of their body in a different direction. Yes, we can turn our neck. We can't able to turn our neck fully in the back side, isn't it? So some parts we can rotate or we can turn. However, some parts can move in one direction and some parts can do in both directions. Our skeleton is made up of the framework of the bone. So it is called as a skeleton. Which movements will take place of the body? They are movement of eyelid, movements of heart muscles, movement of teeth and jaw, movement of arms and legs, movement of head, and last the movement of neck. So movement of some organism happens, isn't it, with a combination of bones. So single bones can't help us to move from one place to another place, isn't it? So movements is possible along the joints where two or bone is meeting, that is two or more bones are meeting, the movements will be takes place. Cheetah. Do you know this how fast is running, isn't it? Cheetah can run 76 kilometers per hour. While we driving the car or while we going in a bike also, you can able to see 76 kilometer means how fast it is. That much of fast the cheetah will run. And hippopotamus, it can run faster than man. You should not judge with the physical appearance of hippopotamus because it can run fast than the man. If it will having a competition between the man and the hippopotamus, definitely the hippopotamus will win when compared to the man. So it can run very fast. Then cockroach. Well, we are seeing in the house also cockroach. When we see the cockroach and suddenly we took any instrument or any weapons to hit that, isn't it? What will happen? Suddenly it will disappear. We don't know where it is went. So much of fastest animal which has a 6 legs covering meter per second. So it will run suddenly. We can't able to see where it is run. It's where within a fraction of second it will run very fast. Another fastest mammal is dolphin. Dolphin can swim 35 kilometers per hour. We should not judge with the dolphin will have a huge weight, isn't it? Even though it will be swimming a 35 kilometers per hour. So types of movements. While we walk about the locomotion movements takes place 3. Movement, amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, and third one is a muscular movement. Amoeboid movement is a pseudopodia which appendage which move with a movement on protoplasm within a cell. Ciliary movement is brought by the appendage called cilia which have hair-like extension of epithelium. Both kinds of movements are seen with the cell of lymphatic system. Muscular movement, it is a more complex movement which brought by the musculoskeleton system. This type of movement is used or seen in higher vertebrates. Next, we are going to see about the joints. The point at which the two separate bones are meet, that is called as a joint, or junction we used to say, no, that is called as a joint. Depending on one type of movement they allow, the joints can be 3 types: fixed, slightly movable, and movable joints. Okay. First one is fixed or immovable joints. So once it is fixed, we are not able to rotate the movements. So this type of joint, no movement is possible between the two bones. The structure between the bones of the skull box are example of the immovable joint. Slightly movable joints. Guess what are the slightly movable joints? The joint between the rib and the breastbone or between the vertebrae is an example of the slightly movable joint. Always joint are the place where two bones are meet, isn't it? So ligaments are very short band and tough fibrous connecting tissue that functions to connect one bone to another, forming the joint. Tendons are made up of elastic tissue and they also plays an important role in the functioning of the joints. Freely movable joints. In this type, varying degree of movements is possible between the two bones forming. So, freely or movable joints are ball and socket, hinge, pivot, condyloid, gliding and saddle. These are the freely movable joints. The first one is a ball and socket. You can able to see the picture now. So, it will be in a shoulder as well as in a hip, these joint. It's a ball shaped head of one bone, a cup like socket on the adjacent bone. It can move 3 planes. This joint allows the greatest range of the movement. And second one is hinge. It's elbow, knee, ankle. Cylinder portions of one bone articulates with a trough shaped depression on adjacent bone. Pivot. It's a spine, a rounded or pointed structure. It will be in a rounded part. Okay. So movement is restricted to the one plane. So the spine can able to rotate into the 3 movements but restricted into one movement. Condyloid, that is in a wrist region, the similar to a ball and socket. It is also a flatter articulated surface forming a much shallower joint. Gliding, it's a spine. So the process between the vertebrates also, articulating surface are almost flat on the similar size. The last one is a saddle. The thumb, shoulder and inner ear. One part is concave, another part looks like a saddle. The other end is a convex and it looks like a ridder in a saddle. Synovial joint is a joint which makes a connection between the two bones consisting of cartilage line, a cavity filled with the fluids. This is known as a diarthrosis joint. These are the most flexible type of joint between the bones. Because of the bones are not physically connected, they can move freely in a relation to each other. So, synovial joints have four main features, that is ligament, synovial fluid, articular cartilage and joint capsule. So, ligament which is used to function to bone, okay. Then synovial fluid is like a slippery fluid and which is reduce the friction between auricular cartilage in the joint. The articular cartilage means a glassy smooth cartilage that is very spongy. To observe the shock or prevent friction between the ends of the bones in the joint. The last one is joint capsule. The tough fibrous tissue that has the two layers with a fibrous capsule lying outside with the synovial membrane. The fibrous capsules helps to strengthen the joint as well as while synovial membrane lines the joint and secretes the synovial fluids. So, inflammation of the joint, usually it will take place in a condition of usually results neither due to the friction or articulating cartilage or due to the lack of synovial fluid in the joint. During this condition, the person feels acute pain in the joint, particularly while moving the joints. Later, while we are growing very old, these problems always will take place, isn't it? Just you can ask your grandparents or your mother or a father, they used to say they are having the joint pain or a knee pain. This disease refers us to the arthrosis. It's however also caused due to the deposition of a uric acid crystal in the joints. Skeleton system. So, we used to see in our school lab, isn't it? We got a skeleton and everybody, I think you all viewed that skeleton. It's a framework of the human body which will be composed in many bones. So, on the basis presence of the body, the skeleton which has the two types. One is exoskeleton, another one is endoskeleton. Exoskeleton is a skeleton found the exterior layer of the body basically originate from the embryonic endoderm or a mesoderm. While endoskeleton is that found inside the human body which originate to form a mesoderm. They are found in almost all the vertebrates to form the main body structure. Functions of skeleton. What are the functions of skeleton? What the skeleton will provide or helps or support to our body? It provides a structure and it gives a shape to our body. And it also supports and surrounds the internal organ of the body. Calcium, phosphorus are the two minerals which needs to regulate the function are stored inside the bone. So, while bone gets very weak, the mineral of calcium and phosphorus are very less. Red blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. The bone of the skeleton system which acts as a lever for a muscular action. The muscular movements could not be possible without tendons and ligaments. The tendons means the fibrous cords of tissue that attach to the muscle to the bone. Ligament, the fibrous cords of tissue that attach bone to bone. The femur or a thigh bone is the longest bone we are going to discuss now. Femur bone or a thigh bone. You can able to see that green part, no children, that is the thigh bone. It is the longest bone in our human body, and it is also the strongest bone into the human skeleton. And next one is the stapes. You can able to see the children where it is stapes. It is the inner ear. It is the smallest and lightest bone in the human skeleton. So which is the longest, strongest bone? Femur. And which is the shortest, lightest bone? Stapes. Okay. Constitutions of skeleton. The human skeleton consists of bone, cartilage and ligaments. Bones compress the hard framework of the body, and cartilage are supporting and connecting structure. For example, the cartilage supports the projecting inner ears and tip of the nose. The ligament bind the bones together. So we have a long bone which is found in the arms and the leg, and the short bones which is found in the wrist, ankle and vertebrate column. Flat bone is a skull, ribs, shoulder as well as hip. Irregular bone doesn't have any shape, that is found in spine, vertebral column, mandible, platen, inferior, nasal, concha and hyoid. These are the irregular bones. Next one is parts of skeleton. The skeleton system is composed of bones and relating the structure that aid the body movement. Is divided into the two major parts. One is axial skeleton, the second one is appendicular. The axial skeleton which have the skull, vertebral column, rib cage. Appendicular skeleton which have the shoulder bone, pelvic bone, arm bone, leg bone. So now we are going to discuss about these two types of parts of a skeleton which have the two skeleton. One is axial as well as appendicular skeleton. The first one in the axial skeleton consists of bones along the axis. The one is skull. Skull is a very hard structure, is made up of small bones which is formed 22 bones, out of which 8 are fixed to form a cranium and 14 bones fused to form the face. The one bone which is movable joint in the lower jaw. While you speaking, the lower jaw will move, isn't it? This movable joint is supported by the muscular as well as ligament. So skull placed on the top of the backbone can be moved up, down and the sideways, not at the back. The next one is vertebral column. It's a running back of the body. It's called the spine or the backbone. The trunk region will offers the vertebral column which is made up of an individual bone called vertebra. Total vertebral column consists of 7 cervical vertebrates, 12 lumbar vertebrates, 5 fused scrotal and 3 fused coccygeal vertebrates. These all vertebrates runs in the basis of the skull to the hip bone forming the tube. So spinal cord passes through the hollow tube. The vertebrates are joined by a gliding joint which allows the body to bend in the front as well as into the backwards. So many of them will use only the front side. So you should practice to moving for the back side also. The functions of vertebral column. What are the functions? What it protects or supports, it helps. It protects the spinal cord, it supports our head, and it also will have the attachment for the ribs and provides support and plays attachment for a pectoral or a pelvic grid. It also provides a movement for the human skeleton which helps in walking, standing erect with a correct posture. Now we are going to see the rib cage. Rib cage occupies the chest region. It is a cone-shaped structure made up of 12 pairs of ribs. Always ribs are attached to the vertebrate, which curve around to form a cage-like structure. The 10 pair of the ribs are attached to the breastbone of the front and 2 pair of the ribs are free at the front. So these are called as free floating ribs. Rib cage is said to such that it contract and expand during the process of respiration. While you touch your chest region, you can able to see the ribs on the both the sides. Those are very lean, they can try. The rib cage protects underlining the lungs, heart and some part of the livers too. Human and giraffe have the same numbers of bones in the neck, but vertebrates of the giraffe's necks are much longer. That's why it is having a long neck. Appendicular skeleton. So this appendicular skeleton is the appendages of the body. The structure is contact with the appendage to the axial skeleton. An appendicular skeleton comprises the shoulder grid or a shoulder bone, pelvic bone, and arm bone and leg bone. Shoulder bone is otherwise called as a pectoral bone. Now we are going to see the shoulder bone or pectoral bone. So this is a shoulder bone. It is in a yellow in color. You can able to see the picture now, children. The shoulder bone is formed by the collar bone of the front and the shoulder blade at the back. Yes, no, it's like a collar. The collar bone supported by the breastbone at one end and the shoulder blade at the another end. Shoulder bone encloses a socket-like cavity into which fixes the ball of the upper arm. This forms the ball and the socket joint. This griddle is called as the pectoral griddle. The second one is pelvic bone. Pelvic bone is also called as a pelvic griddle. It is made up of the strong bone to balance the entire weight of our body. Okay. So this pelvic griddle is formed 5 fused vertebrates at the back and form the cavity in the center. So the thigh bone are attached to the either side of the griddle with the ball and the socket joint. We already seen no ball and the socket joint, no, the same way with the ball and the socket griddle, the thigh bones are attached into this pelvic bones. And the next one, arm bone. So the arm bone we will have a upper limb which has the ulna, corpus, metacarpus, phalanges, humerus, radius, all these are made up of the arm bone. These bones are joined by the hinging joint which allows the limbs to move only in one direction alone, isn't it? The humerus makes the upper arm and forearms is made up of a radius and ulna. Wrist is made up of carpals. The palm is made up of metacarpals. The fingers are made up of phalanges. So these are the important bones which is made up of entirely with the arm bone. Leg bone. Leg is a lower limb made up of femur, tibia, fibula, tarsus, metatarsus and phalanges. All these bones are joined in the hingle joints which allow the limbs to move in only one direction. The knee is covered by the cap-like structure. It's called plata. You can able to see in the picture where it is. Or a knee cap. Otherwise they will call as you as a knee cap. Femur makes the thigh bone. Legs are made up of tibia and fibula. Ankle is made up of tarsala. The foot is made up of metatarsalas. Toes are made up of phalanges. So these are the bones which is made with the leg bones. So many bones are there. I already explained you. You can see in the picture also. So all together is a leg bone. What is meant by muscles? To all our skeleton will be covered with the muscle, isn't it? So then only we are getting a correct body shape and size because of the muscles. And the muscles are also used for all the movements what we are doing, like sitting, dancing, running, jumping, walking, whatever we are doing, the muscles are useful. Most of the muscles are long bundle of a contractile tissues. So, which have the two ends, one is a fixed end and another one is a movable end. The fixed ends will do the muscle originates, where movable ends with pull some other parts also. So, the movable end is drawn out to form a tough structure, the tendon, which attacks to the bone. When stimulated by the nerve and the muscle contracts to become shorter and thicker, thus it pulls the bone to a movable end. So, muscles can only contact with relax and cannot be lengthened, isn't it? So, muscle we can shrink it while we are doing any activities to your body. We can able to shrink our muscles or shorten our muscle, but we are not able to lengthen our muscles. Okay. So, they are the muscles in the root of hair also. So, that gives a goosebumps. Whatever any thrilling movie or any excitement news that you hear, you will get a goosebumps in your legs or in your hands, something like that, isn't it? So, muscles also there in the hair also. So, it takes 17 muscles to smile. How many muscles? 17 muscles to smile and 42 muscles to frown. The hardest working muscle in a eye only. So, we should take care of our eye very much. That's why we used to say don't see very much phone or TV, something like that with the, because the muscles are very hard working muscles in our entire body. Here we are going to see the biceps and triceps of the muscles. Muscles often work in a pair, which against each other. They are called as antagonic pairs. The muscles in the upper arm, you can able to see the picture now children. The muscles in the upper arm controls blending and straightening the arm. Two muscles of biceps and triceps are working against each other. These biceps contracts, the lower arm is raised and the arm bends. In the position of the triceps muscles is released. To straighten the arm, the reverse happen. So, the biceps and triceps are against always each other. The triceps contract straighten the arm while biceps relax. Antagonistic muscles can found all over the body. In iris of the eyes, there are two sets of muscles. They are radical muscles which radiate their pupil like spokes of bicycle. They are circular muscles. So, this radiate muscles make the pupil of eyes wider while circular muscles make the pupil smaller. So, these are the two muscles, triceps and biceps in the human body. Next we are going to see about the types of muscles. In human vertebrates or higher vertebrates, the muscles are classified into three categories. One is skeleton muscles or voluntary muscles or striated muscles. And the second one is unstriated or smooth muscles or involuntary muscles. The third one is a cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles example is heart, and skeleton muscles example is leg, and smooth muscle is example the internal organs like kidney, small intestine, large intestines, like that. Okay. Next we are going to see the coordination of the muscles. Muscle will coordinate with each and every parts of our body. While we are standing or while we are running or while we are playing any games like football, tennis, like that. So, it will requires a combined action of many muscles. To the great extent, the muscles have coordinate for the particular kind of movement. Muscles moves the body part by contracting and relaxation, isn't it? So muscles can pull the bone, but they cannot push them back to its original position. So they work in a pair. The flexor contracts to blend the limbs to the joint. When the movement is complete, the flexor relaxes and extender contract to the extent or straighten the limbs at the joint. For example, I used to say the biceps muscles in the front upper arm, we already seen, isn't it, is a flexor. And the triceps is the back of the upper arm. It is a extender. When you bend the elbow, children, you just do this. When you bend the elbow, the biceps contract. Then biceps relax, the triceps contracts. So coordination of the muscles will take place in each and everywhere. From this, our movements of animal gets over, children. In this topic, we discuss about movements in different animals like earthworm, cockroach, bird, snake, fish, as well as movements in the human body. We seen about joint, skeleton system, muscles and parts of the skeleton systems also we discussed. So go through this lesson, children, then only you can able to answer all the questions. Thank you, children.